In English, nouns which are countable have singular and plural form. But there are certain uncountable nouns which do not have a plural form. There are some plurals which go exactly by rule, like adding s and es. Others are there which do not follow this rule. How good are your noun usages? Take this test and find out. All the 10 sentences in this exercise have two choices. So the choice, the noun which is given in the brackets, one of the choices is right. You have to choose that. First sentence, there is a cool breeze or breezes coming from the north. Both words are given here. There is a cool breeze coming from the north. Breezes is not correct because that does not exist at all. Breeze itself is an uncountable noun where you have wind and winds and you have air, and airs has a totally different meaning. So here is breeze, which is the only correct answer. The second sentence again has two choices. How many liters of petrol or petrols does your car need? You have to choose whichever is right. How many liters? We are talking in terms of a lot of petrol. Again, petrol is uncountable. Therefore, we count the liters, we don't count petrols. If there are different varieties like, petrol which is super refined and so on, then you might use that, but the meaning changes. So how many liters of petrol does your car need? Uncountable noun, petrol. All liquids are usually uncountable like oil or water or milk. These are all uncountable. Here petrol is uncountable. Third sentence. Use a pair of tong or tongs to pick out the fries which are hot. When you want to take out something from the oil or from a place where you have put it, then you need something which has two arms. Those are what we are referring to here. You have to choose whether it is tong or it is tongs. The third sentence reads like this. Use a pair of tongs with S to pick out the fries which are hot. Although it's a single instrument, it has two arms, but we use the plural form because the singular form does not exist. It is always tongs, although it is one. It is like scissors, or it is, there are many other words which have similar thing. Trousers, for instance. It's only a one person can wear it, but since it has two divisions, we call it by the plural form, but it's actually not the plural, it is the singular. The file you need is on the shelf or shelves. Here the singular and plural of a countable noun is given to you. The correct answer for number 4 is the file you need is on the shelf. Now you need only one file. One file cannot be on many shelves. Both words are correct. Shelf is the singular. Look at the spelling of the plural. It's not shelves with FS, but it is VES. F becomes V and then we have ES. That is a correct word. It's a good word. But if you have more than one, only then you can use that. Here we don't require more than one. One file, therefore one shelf. Fifth sentence. The old man gave everyone good, now you have two choices, advice and advices. You have to choose whichever is right. The old man gave everyone Good advice, that is the correct answer. Because advices we don't have. Advice itself is uncountable and therefore it doesn't have a plural form. Uncountable means you can't count as singular and plural. Therefore, advices we don't have. It can be used in some other sense, but not as the plural of advice. Even if you have a lot of advice, you can say many pieces of advice or different pieces of advice. Pieces you're counting, you can't count advice. The rope they need has to be 7. You have two choices, foot and feet. That is measurement. 1 foot is 12 inches. So if it is more than 12 inches, then you have 24 inches, that is 2 feet, and so on. So 7 feet long or 7 foot long, whichever you think is the right answer. Here we are measuring by using a measure tape. The rope they need has to be 7 feet long because 7 is larger than 1. We use 7 feet long. But you can change the sentence structure and use also foot. They need a 7-foot rope. Then what do you say? 7 hyphen is a small dash. Then you put 7 foot. Then 7 foot becomes a single word. They need a 7-foot rope. There you are using 7 foot as an adjective for rope, not as a noun as we have seen in this sentence. So here it is 7 feet long. 7th sentence. A toy shop usually attracts all, and you have two forms of the word, singular and plural, child and children. Choose which you think is right. The moment you see the word all, you know that it has to be the plural because all means more than one, and more than one is the plural form. Here, look at the two forms, child singular, one child. But look at the spelling change when you make it plural. We don't say childs, we say children. So a toy shop usually attracts all children. Then you have the word children as correct, not child. If you change all to every, then the word also changes. Then you say every child, not all children. See how you can change the same sentence and get some other form without changing the meaning much. 8th is a longer sentence. This state has been facing a series of, now you have singular plural, crisis. Look at the spelling, S-I-S singular, crises, S-E-S, just a change of one alphabet, one letter. It becomes a plural in the last few years. So the state has been facing a series of crises or crises in the last few years. The state has been facing a series of crises in the last few years. The plural is correct because you are saying a series of. Series means one after another. Many. So since it is many, it has to be plural form and not the singular form. Number 9. Where is the key or keys to the cupboard? The answer is, where is the key to the cupboard? The cupboard requires only one key. Suppose you are talking in terms of a chest of drawers. Then it has so many drawers. So then you will say keys. Keys is a correct plural. But in this case, you cannot have many keys unless it's a duplicate key. Then you have to say, key because it's a cupboard. Where is the key to the cupboard? Not keys to the cupboard. Please buy a loaf of bread or breads for me. Here also you have to choose between these two. Now in sentence number 10, if you look at a loaf, that means it has to be singular. You want only one. A implies one. So it has to be bread. Different varieties if you use, then it can be called breads. But here you don't use that form. In all the 10 sentences, I have given you explanations to help you avoid these mistakes in future. Let me know how many you got correct. Practice again and again and get everything right. Also tell me how these tests are helping you. I hope you have liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't done it. Press the bell icon so that you get notifications. Like and hype the video and share it as widely as you can. Join the channel as a member to attend all the live classes I conduct and also to get other benefits. Thank you and all the best.